Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Robin and Cindy Unfiltered. We've got another great chat lined up for you today where we're going to be talking about procrastination, something which I think everybody suffers from time to time. But first, I'm Cindy Galvin. I'm coach, a therapist, author of the best-selling book, More to Give, Stepping into Your New Life at Any Age. And I also do a lot of talks on mindset and some neuroscience things all around helping you get past the blocks you have in life. And I'm here with my wonderful colleague, Robin.
Hi, everyone. Lovely to see you, Cindy. I'm Robin Spence. I'm a coach, a therapist, and I'm founder of the Boundary Club, which is everything to do with boundaries.
I just love that. If you guys haven't checked out the Boundary Club, please do because there's a lot of good stuff in there. Not that I have seen it, but I know just from hearing Robin talk that she's got an amazing program. So let's go to procrastination. In fact, we had a little of it today. We've just been talking about a lot of different things. And we finally said we've got to get back to this chat to talk about procrastination. And this is something that no one escapes. Everyone comes up with this all the time. So I know that one of the things that I have found with clients is they often feel overwhelmed because they write everything down that they want to do and they've got this long list and they don't understand. They seem to put the same importance on everything that they're doing. And one thing to do is just take a breath, prioritize, chunk this down. What's the most important? Sounds easy to do, but not something that people actually have the capability to do on their own, or so I have found sometimes. And they need to go through a conversation of, you really need to do that. Could you delegate this? If you find this too much to do, if you're not doing it, then either find a way to do it, put it off to someone else. Or if you're thinking, I can't do it, then you either learn how to do it, or again, put it off to someone else. So what have you noticed with this in your clients?
Ooh, that's so good, Cindy. Procrastination is so interesting. And what's interesting about it from my perspective is sometimes we procrastinate when we don't want to do hard things, right?
Yeah.
And sitting down at your desk and the first three things you have to do are really tough things. So we get distracted. We go and maybe make a cup of tea, we have a conversation, we look at our phones, we get distracted. That's procrastinating because the thing we have to do is really hard. So I encourage my clients to really do those hard things first.
Hmm.
And do the hard things first. And then you don't have to procrastinate. And that's easier said than done, as we all know.
Pretty
So
much.
setting boundaries to help clarify, like, what are your priorities, which you just spoke about, and then creating a structure which lends itself to doing those hard things first. And then a little bit of accountability around, yeah, have I done that hard thing? Or am I kind of allowing myself to be distracted?
See, I love that this is where boundaries comes into everything. And what was I was thinking when you were talking is that the other thing is why do people think things are hard, or why do they shy away from doing some things? And I think that in a lot of cases it goes down to maybe a little bit of perfectionism in there, or a fear that I won't be able to do it to the perfect level that I want to, or I might try to do it, I might fail at this. So sometimes it's actually getting to what are the underlying feelings that's stopping you from doing something. Now, something could be legitimately hard, in which case, figure out how to do it. Like you're saying, get some help with it, learn, engage, or whatever. But I like to ask people, check in with what's really going on. What are the thoughts in your mind when you're looking at this?
Yeah, that's so good. And what's interesting about that is for me it's kind of self-management.
Mm,
When do we ever learn how to manage our emotions and our thoughts, right? Most of us are not born with self-discipline. It's a learned skill. We learn how to set priorities and then focus and stick with them. But most of us haven't learned that unless you're in the army, of course, or, some structured environment where, part of your upbringing was to learn how to self-manage. So we have to teach ourselves that skill. And boundaries go a long way to helping you do that. That's what I love about boundaries. They help us to kind of self-manage. And when we self-manage, we can really tackle things like procrastination from a really strategic view, a strategic way. And I think boundaries like give us that insight into, right, like I'm procrastinating. So what are the things I have to do to change that?
Yeah, I love that. That's so true. And that whole concept of self-management also gets around of being aware of, again, what are you thinking about? What are your feelings? What's actually getting in the way of you doing this? So I think self-management is really a key phrase to use here because, as you and I both know, people can very easily get stuck in patterns of doing things. So they don't recognize what they're doing. They habituate themselves to doing things in a certain way. And unless someone points something out to them or something drastic happens to awaken them to this, they can sleepwalk through things, always trying to find the solution as to why they're not doing it, when in reality, there's some few simple things that they can do. Like you say, thinking about those boundaries, the self-management. What are you thinking and what are you feeling? We're just not taught these things.
No, we're not. And, establishing like prioritizing tasks and limiting distractions. Like that's
Yes.
a whole other thing, like really thinking about, okay, I know I'm prone to this, this, and this. Let me turn my phone off. Let me turn the TV off. Let me turn the things off distract me. And I start from that positioning where I'm looking to kind of minimize the space in which I procrastinate. So I think we really have to actively work at it. Um, Another interesting point I want to throw into the mix is how sometimes we procrastinate with food and drink. Like when we don't want to do hard things, it's like, oh, I think I need a cup of tea. I think I need a biscuit,
Mm-hmm.
escaping the desk. And then and then when we come back, that task is still waiting for us. So we use all sorts of things to procrastinate with, including, eating and drinking. So we really have to focus. We really have to limit our distractions. And that's something that we have to give time to.
I absolutely love that. And that leads me on to something that I wanted to share with everyone, which is the fact that we've created something really special that's coming up in February of next year, the Salon of Power. And this is where progressive women can come together and learn how to get past things that are holding them back and to alleviate those things and be in a room where they're then innovated and they find the innovation to move forward. We're really excited about this. At the end of our talk, we're just going to give you some information on that, but we've got so much in this. It's a day salon. And we're just going to share a lot of these tips and techniques that we've been talking about, working with people, doing a bit of coaching. Robin, would you like to add anything to that?
It's going to be super fun. We're really going to dig deep and get to the heart of why we do the things we do, and then look at strategies for changing our behavior, our emotions, and setting some fantastic boundaries. So we hope that you will join us.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be learning and you're going to be leaving with so much information that will change your life because you're going to be able to pinpoint things and move past those. So I think that's probably us wrapping up for today. Another great chat. Thank you very much. Stay tuned to the end. We've got just that little slide for you to take a look at. Please press like and subscribe, and we'll be back with another topic soon.